We've got a big vision and a trust in the universe. We've got an unshakable faith and determination in the face of critics or questioners or obstacles. We've got looking at other people for inspiration and saying, hey, if they can do it, I can do it. We have got people who kept going through momentous dips, through things getting really, really rocky. And we've got people who have a heart for service and a heart for helping others. Those 5 things seem to be the formula for creating delusional outcomes, delusional results. Hello and welcome to Delusional. I'm your host, Michelle Coyle. And today we're going to do a little something different. It's just going to be you and me because I really wanted to take a minute and pull out some of the themes that we've been hearing so far since we started recording the show with all of our amazing guests and just kind of talk through some of those themes of what is the common denominator? What are the common threads that allow people to achieve things that other people just think are completely delusional? But before we get into it, I just want to thank you so much for your support of the show so far. It's been really, really cool to hear your feedback and to interact with the watchers and listeners of the show. If you haven't yet and you could, just take a minute to go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, review, share this podcast. Everything that you guys do to interact and engage with this really, really helps us get this message out to more people and these inspiring stories out to more people who really need to hear them right now. This is a time of a lot of stress and fear and anxiety and energetic contraction for a lot of people. And getting this show out there is just my little way of putting something positive into the world, putting something that gives people inspiration and hope. And so your engagement really helps me do that. And I appreciate you so, so much. Okay, so let's get into some of the big themes that I have heard so far from our amazing guests since we started putting this show out into the world a couple of months ago in August. I've got 5 themes that I've pulled out for you. And the first is they have a big vision, right? Sometimes this is something that they sat down and really mapped out, and sometimes this is something that just came to them, right? Either way, what they were doing was listening to the call. And so they had a big, big vision, sometimes so big that other people couldn't see it or couldn't understand it. And they just kept going. And so, what I mean is, what we're hearing from people is a lot of times they were scared, they were unsure, but the universe was calling them or God was calling them, or they felt some kind of a sense of mission, a sense of purpose, and a sense of, that they were going to be helping a lot of people with their work. And that pulled them forward to go ahead and just trust. They just have a lot of faith. They trusted the universe to take them where they needed to go. And the universe doesn't show us all the time, oh, here's what this is going to look like in 10 years. We can have a vision of it, we can have an idea of it. But oftentimes, this is kind of like headlights on a car. The headlights only go so far. And maybe if you can tap into your energy, your spirit, your vision, you can turn the brights on and you can see a little further out than everybody else's car. But you can only see so far out. And you kind of trust that as the car moves forward, the headlights will also move forward and a little more will be revealed to you each time. And so for our visionaries and our inspirational folks that have been on this show, that's exactly what they were doing. They were trusting what they could see in front of them, and they were trusting that it was just going to keep unfolding toward the big vision that they had as they moved forward. Okay, the second thing that I hear from all of our guests was this unshakable faith, this rock solid mindset, and this dogged determination, often in the face of, I wrote down the face of haters. I mean, more often, really, the face of people who love them, who, we're talking about parents and spouses and, just the people closest to them who love them, who are concerned about them, who want them to be okay. And out of a sense of loving concern, would say, hey, are you sure about this? Or that seems really risky. Or, because people who love you, it's a positive impulse. They want to keep us safe. And so people would be telling them, hey, maybe not, maybe do this other thing that's safer, or maybe do this other thing first, or do that later. And they were just again, back to that unshakable faith, back to that trusting the universe. look, I hear everybody. I appreciate you wanting to keep me safe, but I have to do this for me. And I know it's a risk. I know it's a risk, but I know that if I don't do this, that I'm going to regret it. And I would rather live with the consequences of failure or this risk not going well than I would live with the regret of never trying this or living a safe life. I think that's really where the delusional concept comes in. And the people that I've been interviewing and want to continue to interview are delusional in that way, is that they're just saying, look, it doesn't matter. Like, I have to try. I have to try this. And it's okay if you don't understand. You don't have to understand. This is for me. And maybe this is between me and my God, or this is between me and my purpose, or me and my mission. But I have got to get this done, and I'm going to do it one way or the other. So that's the second thing I hear all the time. Now, the third thing I hear, and this is a common theme, is we saw other people doing it and said, if they can do it, I can do it. Right. So there's this theme of why not me, or why can't us, or just, why not, por qué no dos? Why not? But why can't I have all of this love and safety and security in my life, but also do this other thing? Or why can that guy do it? They're not, he's not smarter than me. She's not smarter than me. They're not better than me. They don't, have more than me, or maybe they have more than me, but I know I can do it too. And they looked at people not as, oh my God, I'm so intimidated. And because this other person is already doing it, I shouldn't do it, or I'll never be like that person. And they looked at that instead and said, I'm going to find inspiration in the people who are already doing what I'm doing. And I am going to use that to fuel myself. I've shared a little bit about my personal story here when I got into business school, because I didn't grow up in a way that I ever thought that I would be joining the Ivy League. But when I was on campaigns when I was younger, I saw a guy who worked in campaigns with me get into Harvard Law School. And that was my wake up call. If that guy could get into Harvard Law, I could get into an Ivy League graduate school as well. And that's when I went ahead and applied to Dartmouth and got into business school there, which was an experience that completely changed my life in so many ways. I met somebody that I ended up marrying. I actually had a child that I wouldn't have if I hadn't gone there. So, I mean, just that is the greatest gift in the whole world. But also the friends that I made and how much I learned and how much I grew from being in an environment that was a complete challenge for me. Really, it was terrifying. It was very difficult. And to go there and be able to do it anyway, to be able to graduate, to be able to make lifelong friends, to be able to meet a partner who was a partner for 15 years, and also, have a child out of that relationship. And to just look at that and say, man, that was something that I didn't think I could do. And I knew I could do it when I looked at somebody else doing it and said, okay, if he can do it, I can do it. So that's a theme for my own life as well. Really, all of these are. But yeah, looking at other people and going, hey, why not? Why not? The fourth thing, and this is really, really big one, they kept going when things got rocky. So everybody you'll hear, if you listen to the show, and I'm assuming if you're listening to me right now or watching me right now, it's because you're a fan of the show and you've been listening to the show, you will hear this theme of, it went really well for a while. I was like, oh my God, this is finally happening. Things are great. And then we hit a dip. The reality is that success never goes up in a straight vertical line. And this is, guys, this is success in anything. So often we're talking on this show about success in business. And so you could look at that as, revenue numbers or profit numbers or size of the business, size of staff, or size of, clientele or customer base or something like that, scaling. It's not going to go in a straight line. It's the same thing I've been on a weight loss journey, as you guys know, for the past year. When you're losing weight, even if you're losing, it doesn't go straight down either. It goes up and down and up and down and up and down. And anything worth doing that we do in life, you're going to see these micro dips but what you're looking at is this overall trajectory. Now, sometimes it's micro dips, sometimes it's macro dips, sometimes there's a big dip in the success. If you are a spiritual person, a woo-woo person like I am, you could look at that as, oh, the universe is testing me, to see if I really have the faith in this thing. And this is not happening to me. This is happening for me. this is something that is happening because when I overcome this obstacle or this set of obstacles, I will be that much stronger. I will have that much more of a testimony to go out and share with people. I will have that much more resilience the next time I hit a dip, right? This is challenges fantastic for us. In fact, we don't build muscle without weights, and we don't build the ability to scale in any sense of the word in business or in life without challenge. And so you see this theme of, okay, something happened that was really, really rocky. We've had some people on the show who struggled with major addictions. We've had people who went to jail. We've had people who, almost died from their addictions. We've had people who hit really terrifying financial snags and everything else. And the theme is they didn't stop when that happened. In fact, sometimes there was a rock bottom point where they said, I'm done. I'm not going down any farther. I'm going to go back up now. Or, hey, if I could handle this level of rock bottom, then I can actually handle anything. Nothing else is going to stress me out from here. So not only do they keep going through these rocky times when a lot of other people would have bowed out or quit, but they said, I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to grow from this. I am going to just use this to fuel me. And I'm going to take this as a like, hey, if I can get through that, I can get through anything. It's going to allow me to be that much more resilient in the face of anything else that comes my way and that happens in my life. Okay, the fifth thing I have is that these people are exceedingly, this is a present tense one. Everyone I've interviewed, and this is from, people that have made tens of millions of dollars, people who have learned to see without their eyes, people who've overcome major addictions, people who have almost gone to Mars. Everybody that I've interviewed on this show has a heart for service, has a heart for helping other people. So, what is that thing that fuels them through the dip? What is that thing that helps them keep going when things get rocky? It's that, oh my gosh, I can help other people with this. Even when they're in that trough of sorrow, that rock bottom place, they're saying, okay, I can see a future, back to the vision. I can see a future where I tell this story and I tell how I got out of it, and it inspires people and it helps people. And by the way, this big vision that I have, this work that I am doing is here to inspire people, it's here to help people. And so this is bigger than me. This is bigger than me. So when people have these delusional visions that they actually achieve, it's often because they're not just doing it for themselves. Sometimes you're going to hear themes of, I'm doing it for my family, I'm doing it to support my kids and my spouse. Sometimes you're just hearing it as like, hey, I know that this vision that I have can positively impact hundreds or thousands or hundreds of thousands or even millions or tens of millions of people. And so I can't be a quitter if I'm going to do that. And I have to have a heart for service if I'm going to do that, because there is no way that I'm going to have the stick to itiveness to get through this if I'm not looking beyond myself and I'm not being very other focused about this. So we see so much generosity, right? And so just to kind of wrap that up, we've got a big vision and a trust in the universe. We've got an unshakable faith and determination in the face of critics or questioners or obstacles. We've got looking at other people for inspiration and saying, hey, if they can do it, I can do it. We have got people who kept going through momentous dips, through things getting really, really rocky. And we've got people who have a heart for service and a heart for helping others. Those five things seem to be the formula for creating delusional outcomes, delusional results. And you know what? I love talking to these people, and I can talk to these people and get them on my show because I have spent 20 years as a delusional person seeking out other delusional people. I have built these relationships, I have made these friendships. I have been delusional in so many of my own ways that we sprinkle through the show and you've heard about and will continue to hear about. And I want to keep doing that. So my call to you is, if you are a delusional motherfucker, if you are a crazy person, if you are a bold visionary person with a big dream to help thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions or tens of millions of people. I want to know you. This is not just a, hey, comment below. Like, this is a, reach out to me. I want to know you. I want to be friends with you. In fact, I might love to have you on the show if you've got a big story of something delusional that you already did. But if you have something that you're working on now and you're just at the beginning of the vision, let's be friends. I am trying to build a community. I'm going to say that again because I don't even want to say I'm trying. I want to reframe my language. I am building a community of delusional visionary people. I am building a delusional movement, and I want you to be part of that movement with me. So please, please reach out to me. I am at Michelle to Scale on every conceivable social media platform. So pick your poison. And I do check all of my DMs. I wish I were such a big deal at that I couldn't read all the DMs. That is not true yet. It will be. So get in those DMs while you can. And let's be friends. Also, please follow at The Delusional Pod on Instagram, on Facebook. Like, share, comment, interact with these videos. Again, your engagement helps us so much. And I just want to thank you one more time so much for being an early fan, being a listener, being a watcher of The Delusional Show. It means so much to me. And thank you so much for being here with me. We are going to do incredible, incredible things together, and we're going to inspire a whole lot of people.